What's going on? You know what? I think that it's going to be a at-home barbecue wedding. I don't know why I keep seeing that in my head. Everybody thinks it's going to be, this elaborate, ceremony, and it's going to be star-studded and maybe, as big as the Italy nuptials like Jeff Bezos and his, wife. But no, I believe that Travis and Taylor is going to have a barbecue with family and friends. I I feel that. I really do. Am I a Swiftie? I wouldn't say that. I think I'm really late to the party in one part of this Swiftie spectrum. Let me tell you why. What impressed me about Taylor Swift? One day I was like, okay, what is this? When she was, I think it was last year, and she was having the big concerts, and they were discussing how people, random people are, they develop a rapport or a friendship over these bracelets. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. um there's a couple of songs from her catalog that makes me smile, but am I a Taylor Swiftie that puts her music on? No. But what makes me like her, again, I had to research about friendship bracelets of all things, right? And we've all seen them, we've all gotten them from our kids, or they may have made them in crafts or got it from a friend, but okay, right? Well, I was watching something, and there was this young woman, right? And what touched me is I was in her shoes. Now it's okay to be, you know, natural hair or hair, that you are like, my hair is growing back, had hair loss issues, right? To where I'm not wearing my headband. But in my younger self, right now I'm 50, but this young woman that I was watching, right? You know, um, she was saying, I'm not, what society considered beauty and all that, you know. And she says, when I go to a Taylor Swift concert and we're outside waiting to go in, and all you see these people trading, you see strangers of all walks of life. And she said, it doesn't matter what I look like. Sorry, I'm getting emotional because I was once her age. And before it was cool to be natural and because I grew up in the era, excuse me. I'm a 70s baby, and I grew up in the 80s where, natural beauty and plus size, you know, wasn't in, or you didn't look like a Barbie doll, or you weren't, you know, white adjacent, or you weren't fair skinned, because even in the 80s you were compared to a brown paper bag. And if you were darker than a brown paper bag in some communities, you weren't beautiful. And that was the 80s, okay? We didn't really start celebrating blackness, again, because they did that in the 60s and 70s with the afros and all that. And then all of a sudden, they went back to straightening and, hair relaxers. I mean, they were still doing that in the 70s, but you could still wear a natural. And then that disappeared when I was growing up, and and you had to have the right complexion for the protection against, you know, um, prejudice from your own people. Um, you're not good enough, right? From those that look like you. You're not small enough, We didn't have Lizzo back then, and now Lizzo is shrinking. She looks fantastic. But um, being curvy, now you see white adjacent people getting BBLs and getting injections, and they were doing that also in the 90s, plumping up their lips to look like us. They always want to look like us, but then again, we're not beautiful, we're not human, right? That's a whole nother animal. But getting back to why this young lady touched me, and on that she says, when you come to a Taylor Swift concert, people are happy. And it's not about what you look like. It's about joy. It's about friendship. It's about love at these concerts. And why people are, it's the bracelet. It's not about me, it's the bracelet. Or if I don't look a certain way, it's about the bracelet. I'm sorry. So I don't I don't know so much about her catalog, but it just encouraged me to look into this young lady. Because I was like, I'm trying to understand, okay, girl, why are you so, what makes you this special? And what does it mean to be a Swiftie, right? And simple happiness, no judgment. That's on my bucket list, to experience what people of all walks of life. And you seen some of black celebrities go to a concert with their kids, and they are really there. And I was just like, really? I'm like, what's going on up here? And I had to hear that perspective by that person. It's like, wow, wish I could have had that at a young age. I mean, there were great concerts, that I went to, but a young lady, a young white woman bringing all this joy, and it's not about what you look like and how much money you have and this and that. It's about happiness. And I feel that in this world, we have lost that. You know what I'm saying? And young people, especially in the age of the internet, where there is cyberbullying, bullying going on, at least you have a Taylor Swift bringing joy in a bracelet, happiness in lyrics, love, you know. So that's why I started my journey about Taylor Swift, because I'm like, wow, this is all right. This is cool. We don't usually hear about anyone, regardless of their this, black, Asian, white, bringing so much joy like this. Don't get me wrong. My Patti LaBelle, my Erica Badu, my Jill from Philly, and the list goes on. There's Tyler the Creator, that brings joy. I'm not saying there's not any people of color that doesn't bring joy, but I had to just see this billion-dollar princess that everybody's been talking about. And I'm like, what is it? What is, you just like finally I said, F it. Let me find out what's going on with this. What's up? As the kids like, what's up, sis? What are you about? And that's it. That was it. A person describing their experience at this young lady's concert. And now she is engaged with Travis Kelce. Okay, and honey, he is some kind of cute. Now, excuse me, I have no Kleenex near me. I'm sitting here crying like a baby because of this. But anyways, um, I'm not a big NFL person until it's the Super Bowl. Then I become fake. Like I've been following the whole NFL for the whole entire year, the season. And then when it's, the Kansas City Chiefs or another big team, and I'm like, rah, rah, rah. Hey, I act like I'm an avid football watcher. Okay. But anyways, it says here, baby, page 6, Travis Kelce can't stop smiling. And the first outing since Taylor Swift engagement reveal. He's on his own, kid. Travis Kelce stepped out he steps out and on Thursday night, marking his first public appearance since the couple announced their engagement. However, he wasn't totally solo as he was with his brother Jason Kelce. They have a podcast. So, check it out. He's wearing a red and white long sleeve striped Nike shirt, a hat, and black shorts. The athlete couldn't stop smiling as he watched the Nebraska Cornhuskers play the Cincinnati Bearcats at Kansas City's Arrowhead Stadium. And he's so adorable. And his brother, who also used to play for I think he played for the Eagles, or was it the Jets? It's one of them green. No, I think it was the Eagles. I think Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, but Travis still plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. So, like I said, I think, she's a down home girl. Yes, she is one of the biggest celebrities in the world, but she gives me down home, and I think it's going to be a laid back wedding. Some of the people that really do follow her say that she really is probably going to have a mom and pop bakery, doing the bakeries. Listen, guess who said she wants to be a part of the affair of catering? That's Miss Martha Stewart, baby. Now that I love her. I've loved Martha since the 90s, okay? I love me some everyday living. Martha is the girl. Um, so yeah, she says she wants to do it, the food, honey, the cake. Allegedly, she wants to do that. Um, I love their engagement picture. It's in a beautiful, looks like a beautiful garden of flowers all around. And so their caption, when they announced it, they said, "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married." Swift and Kelsey captioned the upload. Um, so, you know, they are super cute. And, Travis Child, he loves the sisters. Before there was Taylor Baby, and I think I did a video of her about this. I think it was last year. beautiful black woman he was with for 4 years. Okay. So yeah. And yeah, I'm sure she's like, what? So yeah, they never got a chance to walk down the aisle when they were together. But apparently, he really cared and loved that woman, but it didn't work out apparently. Um, so yeah. Um, do you think Blake Lively is going to be invited? Folks are saying, heck no. She had tried to use Taylor Swift's name and that Justin Baldoni, remember those videos I was doing? And that chaos and added, you know, Taylor to the group chat. And Taylor was like, no, you're not. Mm-mm. No, you using our friendship over this bullshit. Oh, excuse me. That's what I'm assuming what Taylor said. I don't know if they still friends, but word on the street, her circle was like, no, we don't do Blake. Um, so yeah, I'm super stoked. Like I said, Travis seems like a really cool, laid back person. His mom is funny. I love seeing her. She just seems like a mom that does not, she don't play that. Um, so yeah. So anyways, you guys, I wish him all the love. Um, and go ahead and click the subscribe button. And you guys have a safe Labor Day weekend. All right, love you. Bye.